Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. So, today I am answering a question that actually have been asked for quite a few times, and somehow I hadn't addressed it yet. So, I think it's a real good time to address it. Um, some of you guys are worried about the rise of feminism or feminist movement in Ukraine. And in this video, I'm going to try to share some thoughts, um, my thoughts on this and my take on it, and whether or not it's really a threat, and whether or not yet another country would be hurt by feminism. Um, Again, these are just my perspective, so you are free to share your thoughts, your opinions. I do not mind contradictory opinions as long as they are respectful and there is no foul language or direct harassment. Hi, Steven. Hello. Somebody wrote that, oh, you delete all the bad comments. No, I actually do not delete bad comments, or I do not delete comments that do not agree with me. I block comments that are disrespectful or harassing or just very inappropriate. That's what I delete. Hi, Joseph. Hello, Stephen. Yes, Joseph is currently in Ukraine. We have Stephen who have been in Ukraine and I believe engaged to a Ukrainian lady. Yes, I do delete rude only, but people who feel they have something to share, they think differently. It's a free country, and you are welcome to share your opinion. I do not mind. I made a video about MGTOW just recently, and we'll continue that conversation. I just need to take a breather from that because each time you open your mouth to share your thoughts, where you're supposed to be able to, and you don't threaten anybody, you get just slammed. I feel like a train just ran through you, with all kinds of inappropriate things. So, anyway, welcome back, everybody. So, today we are talking about the rising movement, feminist movement in Ukraine. So, a lot of you guys may have seen on TV, with the last couple of years, starting even earlier than that. I don't remember all the years in particular, but there is a group called Femen. It's a so-called feminist group, and some people are afraid and concerned that, oh my gosh, now it is there in Ukraine. We thought we escaped the harm and damage of extreme feminism, and here it comes. So first of all, guys, just so you understand, these ladies had to take their clothes down to actually get attention. And it may feel extreme to you. Why would you do that? Why would you take your clothes down to get attention? But just so you understand how far behind Ukraine is regarding any social issues, regarding just basic human rights. So in this, what I will start with, in Ukraine, so-called feminist movement, it's a movement for the basic human rights. I'm gonna say this again. In Ukraine, the so-called feminist movement, man, it's even hot from the glasses. Phew. In Ukraine, feminine movement is basically movement for just normal human rights or basic human rights. So women are sick and tired of being sexually harassed at work. And this is not a harassment that they complain here in US. Oh, he made me a compliment. Oh, he opened the door for me, or he said I look nice. No, in Ukraine, sexual harassment is basically when you find a job or a good well-paid job, your boss can actually tell you that you will have to have sex with him in order to get paid. And unfortunately, I have been through that myself. Back when I was living in Ukraine and I was a student, and I was looking for a job. I wanted to start making my first money, and it was a very unpleasant experience because I was, just a child, basically, young woman that's just trying to see whether she can practice, what she's studying, get better. I was looking for the work in embassy and also tourist companies because of my education, international relationships. So it was diplomacy, I guess. So you could work in embassy, you can work in a companies that does tourism. It was I wanted to be in that environment when people are exposed to different cultures and just things like that. So anyhow, guys, I've been through that, and I'm gonna tell you a particular story. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. So I was looking for a job, and I found this one company. I came, and there was a very popular tourist company at the time, very it has a monopoly, and it was very famous, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I may get to this company. Long story short, when I came for the second time at the first meetings, they told me, you know what, you are great, you're gonna be just awesome for us, which I did not expect at all. And then when I come to the second meeting, I was told to that working in that company, just a second, guys. I was told that working at that company will require a certain. I think I shared this with you before. Certain office parties. So basically, you require to have sex with multiple members or people who run this company. So for somebody who is like 19 years old at the time, to me, I was just in such a shock. I was really looking forward to find a job, yet I could not understand that somebody can actually dare to tell a young woman that she will have to have sexual relationships in order to get paid, or and it was so disgusting. And the worst part of it is that you felt ashamed to share with anyone because you felt that people would assume that you might be looking a certain way, that's why you're getting these offers, or you might be dumb, or how come everybody else is finding a job. But the thing is, it was very common, just women were afraid to share it. They didn't want to be they didn't want to be judged. So and I believe this is still going on, not as much right now, not as much these days. It's not as bad right now because I have a lot of friends that have been successful at their careers and they have no issues. People finally starting to hire women, not because of their breast size or their legs or their lips or their overall look that they want to display or try to get them into bed, but because they have particular skills, particular knowledge, and it's just so weird. Yesterday or day before, I made a video. I was talking about MGTOW, and I was wearing a dress. I'm a woman, I wear a dress. And of course, I get bunch of comments. I had to block. Oh, why do you have to show your breast? Like, first of all, I don't ever show you much of myself for this very reason. And secondly, I'm a human being. I go out, I wear dresses, and I'm sorry that I didn't have a chance to get my gender transformation surgery yet. So I would show up with some chest hair and flat chested just for you, to make you happy. But women do not need to suppress their sexuality or how they look, or their curves, as long as it's not something vulgar, as long as they wearing appropriate clothes. Some women have shapes and forms, and they should not be harassed. When you start harassing women for dressing up and looking beautiful, they start to eat, they start to not care how they look, they start to wear big stretch t-shirts that are even big for you. They start to wear stretch out jeans, and they start to not to care how they look. Stop making fun of women who actually look presentable, that look appealing and attractive. and making them as if they trying to get some sort of attention. Have you ever thought that they are just being themselves and enjoying their femininity? I was just like, I just could not believe this is, and I cannot believe this is happening in 2021. So, when women are slubs and do not take any pride in their looks, you're upset. When women are taking care of themselves and dressing up and accentuate their femininity, or you're trying to get attention, why are you showing your breast? Well, maybe because I'm a woman and that's what I got. So for those of you who are for I know this guys probably won't watch this video, but it's just like so annoying. It's about you. She can, as far as I'm concerned, the ladies can show up wearing whatever they want. It's how you respond. The level of your education, of your manners, the way you act in the world has nothing to do. Even if somebody is wearing a provocative dress, it's on you. When somebody driving an expensive car, if somebody driving an exquisite expensive car, you don't jump out of your old car and trying to get them out of their car and steal it, or try to rob them and get their money, unless you're a criminal, right? So if you are attracted to certain kinds of women, it doesn't mean you need to harass them. So I digress, but I just want to say, guys, so for those of you who do not ask me why I do not show more of myself, like, you can find my pictures on different social media. I promise you, I look like a human being. I look normal, but I just, some men just cannot control their emotions, and just don't understand that how inappropriate it is, especially when you are here to deliver a message. So there is a true issue of sexual harassment in Ukraine. In many companies, especially successful companies, you will be asked to have sex with a manager or a boss, and this is not normal. And that's why you see these ladies who are desperate and taking, I do not support that, honestly. I do not support that movement. I think it's a little bit extreme, but on the other hand, I don't judge it either, because I'm not living there and I'm forgetting how hard it is. I remember my desperation, being 19 years old and having to stand for myself. I was too embarrassed to tell my dad what was really going on and why I can't find a job. But many of my friends went through the same thing. So in Ukraine, sexual harassment is real. So when you work at the office, and again, if you have a good position, if you're an attractive woman, even if your boss is married, I mean, he still will try to you know get close to you, try to get you somewhere, and see if he can have more than just have you working. My question to this: why would you ever work if you need to have sex with that boss? You can just find, you can just be a sex worker and get paid more. So he wants to really f you in many ways. If he wants you to do the work, to to be dedicated to your job, to be there every morning at 8 a.m, leave office late, and he wants you to serve him sexually, this is ridiculous. It's pick a side. It's either one or another. So there is that. So it does still exist, sexual harassment in US versus sexual harassment in Ukraine. These are two completely different things. Because once again, in US, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that men cannot open the door or help you to sit in a chair or make you a compliment, that it's immediately could be assumed that you are sexually harassing. I am against it. I do not support the sort of forced wave of feminism in US. I think it's ridiculous. And we are different. We are not the same. We should be able thank you, Tom. uh, we should be able to be ourselves. We should be able to be true to our genders. We are complementary to each other. We are equal in our rights, but we are not the same. So, but in Ukraine, it's a real problem, guys. I've been through this. This is just one example I shared with you. I kind of feel maybe a little bit more personal when I share it, but yet it's so disgusting that I don't really want, I will not share that example again, because I was, as a 19-year-old, I was just, I almost felt like I want to throw up, because he said that he had only 7 managers. So that's it. You just need to, be sexually available for 7 men in the office, and you be all set. What a deal. Can't believe I missed out on that one. God damn it. Anyway, I will not share the story again, because it's really weird how when you share a story, you kind of go back to that, and it just, it doesn't feel good. So that's a real problem. Women want to be able to work. Women want to be able to find a job, to find a career path where their years at the university, their effort to study, their effort to become a professional is appreciated, and not entirely, based on their appearance, right? So that's number one. And now the thing is, and this is something that you guys may relate, you may have seen it. A lot of men do come to Ukraine for sex tourism. And unfortunately, it's a real issue, and a lot of good women are almost forced to offer that kind of service because they just cannot survive. But on the other hand, again, they want to be able to make their money honestly. And it's a really a complicated situation, but Ukrainian women do not want to be, if somebody decides to be a sex worker, that's their choice. But Ukrainian women in general do not want to be objectified and become a country of sex tourism. And it is really hurting a lot of people. Man, I have this neighbor, and he's like all ears into what I'm talking about. Get a subscription. So Ukrainian women do not want to feel that and that Ukraine becoming a country where people from Muslim countries, some Western men, I don't know, Indian men, feel like they could come, and because their culture do not allow certain things, or because in US there is certain other issues, Ukrainian women, their dignity, their pride is hurt by the fact that a lot of men come and think that they can be that they can use women for, as sex tourists, right? Ukrainian women do not want to be seen as an object, as a disposable sex object, or as a country where you can just come and use women. They don't want to be like that. And those of you guys who have been in Ukraine, you know what I'm talking about, right? So, and that's why there were this protest of female and some other organizations and the women walking around and screaming and yelling and saying, stop treat us as as prostitutes. We are women. We want respect. We want our rights to be respected, and so on and so forth. And you know what, I can tell you that I do understand that it's not very pleasant. Nobody wants to be imagine your daughter, being, somebody coming to your daughter and think that, oh, I can just say, hey, I know your country is not economically as developed, let me just, let's talk in my bedroom. You would be offended. You probably would take the crap out of that person. Let's be real. Because I had a dad. I know how dads are. Yes, I know, Stephen. Stephen is saying the majority of marriage agencies promote this. But guys, Ukrainian women who have, okay, I think my neighbor is out. Just want some fresh air. You know, oh no. Okay, I'll put some AC on. Just a second, guys. Put some AC on. Just need to switch off my music. Um, yes. So, Ukrainian agencies, yes, marriage agencies are trying to promote that as well, and that's hurts me. And this is why, guys, I only work with one person, maybe two. For those of you who are looking for advice, who are looking to connect with Ukrainian ladies, I only work with the one or two people currently, because a lot of Ukrainian agencies are purely scamming and or force women to scam or sell themselves or do the escort. And this is not what Ukrainian women are represent. Ukrainian women are, an epitome of all the traditional values that somehow still live in Ukrainian women's hearts, such as value for, having family, having children, and just keeping all those old values. Hello, Brianna. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. I appreciate you, Brianna. Thank you. So, guys, I do not think, long story short, I do not think that you should be ever concerned about feminist movements in Ukraine, because feminist movements in Ukraine are basically survival. It basically a scream for survival. Um, it's basically a scream for help. It's basically them just asking for somebody to pay attention and stop it. Ukrainian women want to be able to make a decent money that do not affect their dignity, that they can use their education and make, decent amount of money, that they can just feel like they are, a human being. They want to be able to live like the rest of the Western Europe and West lives. Yet Ukrainian women do not, it doesn't mean that they hate men. Even these women, I've heard interview with those women who are in feminist so-called movement. They said they are not against men, and they just want to have respect. They just want to have respect. They still, want to get married, want to have children. They just want to be able to be an equal member of society, to get a decent pay, not to have to be a sex worker when they looking for a job. Have just basic human rights and respect. And I mean, what could you guys say to this? So compare this probably with the first wave of feminism, or maybe second, when women just wanted to be able to do things that everybody else is doing in the world without being put in a corner. And you have so much discrimination as a woman when you're looking for a job, except for sexual discrimination, for direct sexual harassment. You have another one. And another one, guys, you know what it is? Another one is, I remember when I was looking also for a job, I'm just gonna say from my example, the employer would ask me, so do you have a boyfriend? I remember I was like 22, 23, and I was thinking to myself, okay, what do I say? Hell, I have a boyfriend. Of course, I mean, what do you think? I live in a monastery? But I was just like, why? It's just such a personal question. It's like, I don't ask you if who you do you have. It's none of my business, unless you just want to mention your marital status. But being in your early 20s, and so do you have a boyfriend? So I'm gonna explain you why they ask if you have a boyfriend. So if you have a boyfriend, it means that you may get married and you may get pregnant, and then they don't want to pay you the child or maternity leave. So if you are anywhere close to get pregnant or get married and then get pregnant, usually it's you get married and then get pregnant in Ukraine, for everybody I know at least. So if they kind of see that you have a serious relationship with the man, then you probably off gonna be having babies. So they would actually not hire you, because you're gonna be a liability and they will have to pay you maternity leave. And my question to them, how do we supposed to keep our demographics up? How do we supposed to keep our birth rate higher than our death rate? If you put all these restrictions, you should be encouraging women to have children. You should be encouraging them to have children early year or early, for all the reasons, for all the known reasons, right? But instead, so women would sometimes sacrifice also, you find this job, you don't want to lose it. So sometimes women would sacrifice, having children because of their job, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so to make their employer happy, and sometimes they would not be able to find a job. It's just like you are screwed either way. I don't know any other good word to say this, guys. I feel like you're screwed either way. So if you wait too long, it could be too long. You may not be able to. If you met somebody, you want to create a family and you want to leave your job for a little bit, maybe not 3 years as it was in Soviet Union, but you want to take like maybe a year of leave, of maternity leave, they don't want to pay for you because, what a horrible person. You want to take a year of working to take care of your own child, of your own newborn, and knowing that nobody can replace the mother. This is, I think, where disconnect happens. I was shocked to see that in United States women bring babies, newborns, into daycares at like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. I would not bring my child to the daycare under the at least 6-8 months age if they would pay me my yearly salary in one day. There is nothing, literally, entire world, there is nothing at all that could make me go and drop a 4-week-old baby into daycare. Nothing financial, nothing career wise, nothing business wise that would make me go and drop this tiny little baby that counts on you, that you are the whole world for this newborn. There is nothing in the universe that will make me go and drop the baby. And this is how Ukrainian women feel. And you guys, you may or may not know these things, but this is how most Ukrainian women are. We're not just gonna go and drop our kid because our boss, wants to see us today. So I just want to share that. Oh, thank you, Brianna. You're so sweet. Thank you so much for your support today. I'm getting all red because I'm so emotional about these things. It's like they blame women for being career driven, but then, you cannot find a work if you have a baby. Yet, if you have a good job, in the United States, you're almost forced to bring your baby so you don't lose your job. It's just like, there should be a way where we can raise our children. I just want to finish my thought. There should be a way where we can actually raise our children. I believe all this disconnect, all this food addiction, video games addiction is because parents are not present. Parents are not present. They are not there. They are not there to raise. And if you do not believe that early child development is crucial, look what's going on now. Children subconsciously remember everything. And when they're just newborn, when they're toddlers or infants, their mother is a whole world for them. It's It's true. And so, but in Ukraine, you screw these away. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm getting on a lighter topic. I'm gonna read Brianna's message. I'm gonna charge my neighbor for listening to me for free. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me read it. Thank you so much, darling. As a reformed feminist, I will someday share with you what caused me to join the movement. And I shared with you in that email why I left it. I'm not sure which email. Could you resend it to me, please? I'm glad you chose this topic. You're very wise. Thank you so much, Brianna. I'm glad you are a reformed feminist. And thank you so much for sending me an email with sharing what happened. You know, I would love to read it again. I don't think I actually read it because I don't recall this. So please send it back to me. And thank you so much. Oh my God, he's back. And thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you so very much for the kind words, and thank you for your support of the channel. I truly appreciate it, Brianna. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it very much. If you have anything to add, guys, I'm gonna try to look at your comments, but remember that after some point they disappear. Thank you so very much, guys. I especially, we don't do bugs over here. I especially appreciate it today after yesterday's harassment, but I just had to do it. I just have to address certain things, right? I think that Ukraine can still offer that beautiful traditional femininity, but if you're gonna be trying to kill it, if women's if they will have consistent threat, you know, of being used, being you know, sexually harassed, it may lead to women start to closing up and just deciding for themselves to, you know, not be feminine anymore. And you know, this was my first thought when I get that comment yesterday, like, why you know, you showing off your body. I was like, I'm showing off my body? What? You can only see my pictures on some of my social media sites, and what the hell? But you know, you can understand, like, in Ukraine it's real. Here, you know, you block the button, that's it. Nobody in person would tell me that, you know. If, you know, when I wear a nice dress, or I wear dresses almost every day in summer, as most women in Ukraine are as well, usually people will tell you a compliment, oh, you look nice, or you look feminine, and I enjoy that. I never take it like, oh, this is sexual harassment. No, people just enjoy this, and people inspired, you know, ladies are inspired to dress up as well, and it's all good. But in real life, nobody would come to you in United States and dare to say these things. But in Ukraine, it's still possible, and that's why these women are trying to stand for themselves. They're not doing it because everything is great. In United States, feminists, ultra feminists, are fighting for the rights they already have. I think United States is the only country where women are fighting for the rights they already have, and this is kind of ridiculous. But in Ukraine, women just fighting for the basic rights. So no, you don't have to worry about Ukraine, you know, turning in this horrible, you know, feminist society, and you will get the same ridiculous side of things. No, they're just fighting for the human rights. They're just fighting for survival, basically. And it's unfortunate. It shouldn't be this way in 2021, you know. It shouldn't be this way. So that's what I want to share with you. I had this question coming up, and guys, this topic has been requested a few times, and guys were writing me, you know, Veronica, what do you think? You know, they kind of were concerned that, oh my gosh, the same thing is happening. But Ukraine is about 30-40 years behind to my opinion, in social trends, on a particular issues, on particular topics. So this is definitely not a threat. It's just, Ukrainian women are trying to get a, breath of fresh air. Also, there is other unwritten thing that Ukrainian women are, except for sex tourism and sex harassment at work and low pay and discrimination when you're trying to find a job when you're a younger woman, because once again, employer does not want to pay you your maternity leave. But there are also unwritten things such as men using their not saying the truth and turn perfectly honest women into mistresses without them knowing that. So, and there is almost, like I told you guys before, acceptance in the society that if man is somewhat successful, if he just have some abundance of money, that he can have several wives. And a lot of women have not a single clue that this man is married, and when they come to know, it's too late. So, but in society, it's just like, oh, well, it's fine, and it's okay. I don't really think it's okay, because if you respect your word, if you stand there and you make vows and you tell your wives that you want to be with her, you swear to be faithful, how is that you can be a high value man, quote unquote, if you swear in front of your family, in front of your friends, and then a couple years later you have you have a woman on the side, then another woman on the side. How can you look into your wife's family members' eyes and feel okay? So women are also uncomfortable with this. Some of them do not want to get married because they don't want to deal with be a sister wife. They don't want to deal with a BS. They want to know if she invests her time, her years of youth, her fertility, her sleepless night with raising his children. She at least wants to know that he's gonna be there. That he's the one she can count on. But she cannot know that, and that's why a lot of Ukrainian women looking abroad, because they've heard that Western men have more appreciation for traditional women. And that's why very often traditional Slavic women are looking for Western men, because Western men are starved for femininity and traditionalism and conservatism, and Ukrainian women are starved to have stability, just to have stability. So that's what I want to share with you. So the short answer, instead of making this video, I could have just said, no, you should not be concerned about the so-called rise of feminist movement in Ukraine. This is just normal outrage of being for real hurt by certain society norms, and this is not okay in 2021. If we can fly in space, if we can get the rockets off the ground, we should be able to have women being able to find their job, their career. We should have being able to, for women, go to work and not be harassed, and being able to take a maternity leave and have a child. It's like they would shame us that, oh, a birth rate is going down so high, but yet the government barely, or employers barely, support women having children. It's like you're between a rock and a hard place. If you have a child, you lose your job. If you don't have a child and keep your job, you may never be able to have a child again, because not everybody is super healthy. Women have certain health issues sometimes. It's really a sensitive subject. So all right, guys, let me read some of your comments. Hey, hope you're all still here. Thank you so much for supporting the show once again. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Bill, for the kind words. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, guys. Also, thank you so much for the little the Cash App tips. I mean, big, small, or little. I don't care if it's $1. Just one. Some of you think, oh, she's spoiled. She's getting sometimes all these big donations. I don't care. I told you guys before. If it's something bigger than the zero, even if it's thumbs up or comment or kind word, it's appreciated. And when it comes to donations, actual support of the channel, anything bigger than the zero is highly appreciated. I appreciate your hard work you put in, and if you choose to donate to support the show, it means a lot to me. It means that you truly appreciate it, because otherwise you would not support it with your hard-earned money. So if it's 99 cents, I appreciate it too. If it's we have some bump droppers here. If it's something extremely generous, of course I do understand that that takes special special effort. Thank you. Yeah, so I appreciate every single one of you, all the positive input from you guys. Just 1 second. Thank you for the Cash App, Jason. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. I won't read your message, but thank you so much. It's just way too sweet. I'm shy to read that, but thank you. So let me read some of your comments. Thank you. Yes, this is my Cash App. You can also request a topic or a question. Guys, thank you so much for joining the Patreon. We are growing, and I'm looking forward to have some more interactions on the Patreon. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Thank you for the sticker. That's so cute. Thank you, Joshua Moore. I appreciate your contribution to the live stream today. Thank you. Now, guys, I'm done with sharing my thoughts. I would like to read your comments. So, if you'd like, you can repost your comment. Let's see how much time I have. I have some time still. I have maybe about 5-10 minutes or so. Thank you again. Thank you. I think it's your first time contribution, Joshua. I really appreciate it. That's really sweet of you. I know you don't always make it to my live video, so I'm glad you are able to watch live stream as I'm airing the live stream. Steven saying, well done once again. Thank you. Steven, what do you think about the threat of feminism in Ukraine? I know you shared prior, but I was not able to read it. Could you write it again if you're still there? What are your thoughts on the threat of the feminism in Ukraine? Brianna, thank you for contributing to the chat. I told you that you are allowed to, it's totally cool with me. Thank you for the kind words again. Yeah. Yeah, we don't hate men over here. We don't hate women over here. We are looking at what we can do to make this world a better place. That's what we do. Okay, Brianna. Oh, hello, Sadia. Great topic. Kudos to you. Thank you, darling. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining. Yes, Brianna, please do. And I also want to thank you for being such a consistent supporter of the live show. I really appreciated that. Contributor. Bill is saying I'm in total agreement, Veronica. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that. We have a reformed feminist on the show. That's awesome. Mark Walker, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining. There are 3 tiers of feminists with 2 that hate men. I am not here to debate this topic. I will save it for another time, all right? Feminism in the West started out with laudable goal of economic equality and respect. It has subsequently morphed into female superiority and hating on men. Man, I do not support that. I do not support of making fun of men. I think it's absolutely awful. That would be a different stream. I would like to make and my outlook on that. I do not, you know, the interesting thing is we can't even be feminine without men. Like when I go out, okay, I'm gonna put this example. When I go out with my girlfriends, this is one circumstance. I mean, we're having fun, we're laughing, but it's a completely different environment. We share our female wisdom, we are having fun, But when I going out with a man, even um I'm more like your daughter, Tom. I'm not the age of your mother. I'm just saying. I think so. I don't know. Unless you're like 15, then could be. I'm just kidding. But but when you go out with a man, when you feel it's completely different. Like when you have somebody protecting you, you are in a different state. You're in a state of femininity. When you have around you, when you have somebody who got your back, who got your, who you don't have, in our guys, I just want you to know something. Our men, those who are good men, they never let us open our purse when we are out and about. They never let open the purse to pay for anything. They do not allow us to walk when we walk on the street on the outer side where the cars, you're always inside, and men always walk with you on the side where the vehicles are for protection. Our men are always looking out for you, so we can only truly feel feminine when there is masculine energy, when there is masculine protection. But also when you have to work 24/7 and you don't have any support from your man. I mean real support. Support was taken out, taken care of your living. When you don't have that support, you cannot, even if you're super feminine, you cannot truly be feminine. Because when you make money, usually most careers you have to be at least partially in your masculine, unless you are this lucky woman that is uh working on her passion and just very 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 blessed to be able to make money. But even then, women cannot be super creative and be in their flow when they have to worry about the bills, when they have to worry, oh my god, they're gonna switch off electricity tomorrow or after tomorrow, they're gonna and that's why a lot of women start to become very masculine, because they have stress, and stress hormone, I think this particular one is cortisol, and it completely knocks out the sexual desire, femininity, flirtation. Because when you're in high stress, men strive in high stress. Most men achievers, they thrive. Their energy is out of control. They are growing, they are just becoming these exuberant, they execute in confidence, they are successful, they have all this like achievement vibe around them. When women have to do all these things, when they have to achieve and push and achieve and push again, when they have to do this high stress stuff, eventually they burn out and they lose their femininity. So once again, we can only be truly, truly feminine when we have a masculine, frame around us. I mean, when we have a masculine man around us, when we are children, it's usually our father or, our older brother. And then, when we grew up, these are the men that we choose to be with. So Ukraine will never become a feminist country, feminist in a Western way, because we still believe in gender roles, and we our dynamics are still based on polarity, and this is how the world goes round. Of course, if women will not, um, if society won't evolve, um, the turmoil may reach, higher temperature, and a lot of women may become more masculine and more closed up and, protective, like, how to say this, protective, of themselves, more closed up. But that's, we are not, naturally, we are not, the kind of societies that where it will occur naturally. Women still want to be women, men still want to be men. And the thing is, we celebrate men in Ukraine, we celebrate masculine men, we have great examples with our fathers and grandfathers, who were extremely masculine. mm. Eric, thank you for that prosperous prediction. Eric is saying, just a matter of time before feminism destroys femininity in Ukraine as it had already done in the West. Well, I don't know, guys. What can we do to contribute for the better? What can we do to make things better? One element in society does not go off or out of place for no reason. The elements that are changing in society, they reflecting, they are the reason. There are reasons for them to change, and once they change the entire society. So, I be honest with you, sometimes I wonder, how it's gonna be in 30, 40 years. But you have to understand that our women are coming from desperation. They just want to have their basic needs met. They just want to be able to keep their dignity and self-respect. They do not want to be forced. They do not want to be sexually harassed. I really distance myself in my mind through all the instances of actual sexual harassment, when people actually about to do damage to you, or sharing their intentions. I kind of separated myself from that mentally because I don't want to be in that victim mode. And I also do not think that all men are like that at all. In fact, most men are not like that, in my experience. But sometimes when I think about that, I'm really glad that I left and I live in the US now for that reason, because you almost feel like you are defending yourself. You always, even I remember going out on dates, and I remember like having my defenses on. There would be very, you go out, I was in college, everybody goes out and, meet people. And I remember sometimes I'd be so anxious, I'd be so uptight, I couldn't even eat on a date because, or, I would be so uncomfortable because I would feel the pressure, and there shouldn't be pressure. It should be a free choice. You should be able to enjoy the time with somebody with no pressure of that kind. This is ridiculous. And that's why I actually, ever since I was young, in college, I always, when I'm at the restaurant, I never order something that I cannot pay for. Like, or when I'm somewhere out, I never make, somebody invites me, hey, let's go do some shopping, when you're, or having, traveling or doing any other experiences, I never order some things that I could not pay for myself, because I don't want to be hurt or harassed. And sometimes you don't know a person's intentions. Do you guys agree? Sometimes you do not know a person's intentions, so you want to make sure you're doing all right. I don't need, most Ukrainian women do not want to get in your wallet, do not want to hurt you. The reason why some of you guys have bad experiences because you pick the women that do not like you to begin with. Most Ukrainian women want to find a loyal man that can stay loyal through the years, so they don't have to become a feminism and say, I'm an independent woman, you know. Ukrainian women, most of them can do a lot of things themselves, but they just choose not to. So, another pep talk for you all today. Thoughts, guys, please share your thoughts. It's always so nice to hear from you. And yes, thank you, guys. I'm gonna be posting. So I want to say a few words about Patreon. So of course, you know, there are paid posts, you know, that you guys supporting me with, but I also am gonna be making some suggestions and some behind the scenes stuff. And a lot of this stuff is you know, going to be a bonus because you are my Patreon or YouTube supporter. And my goal for Patreon is just to create a platform, you know, where we can talk and not being afraid to be attacked, because, you know, to be very honest, I am tired of defending myself, and I'm not, you know. um you know, I usually just don't respond because I know I'm gonna be dragged into a discussion and it's just gonna be a waste of time. On the other hand, I do understand that some people feel a certain way, and I understand some people are on the other side, and I wish them the best. And I say it without sarcasm. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Make yourself happy so you would be a better member of society. But you don't have to drag other people to your paradise, right? You don't have to drag me or anybody else uh, to your idea of happiness. Go enjoy, be an example, and if you are thriving as a man or as a woman, other people would come and say, hey, I wonder what he's doing, or hey, I wonder what she's doing, you know, why, you know, why they are so happy, you know, or why you know, why this person looks happy and fulfilled. I wonder what they're doing. Oh, wow, I want to do that too. So you don't want to drag people into your beliefs. You want to people see the way you live in, the kind of life you have. If you live in a great life, people are gonna start asking you. So I wish well to everybody. Honestly, I even those people who write hateful comments, I wish them to feel better, because not a single person that have happiness and satisfaction and fulfillment from their life is gonna write hateful messages. Imagine yourself, you're finally with your fiance, or you're somewhere on vacation, or you just got a raise at your job, or your career is evolving, or your business is growing, and you are excited. You're like, you're literally flying in the sky, and you see somebody online, you're like, uh-huh, you are ugly, you stupid, you know, stop showing your breast, you know, you are unattractive, you know. You, even if that is true, you're not gonna be writing that because you don't care. You are in your happy place, you're living. If anything, you see somebody trying to create something and you're gonna be, you're doing great. Even if that person just doing baby steps and it's all messed up, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're doing great, like this is a great video, or this is or your English is getting better, or you're gonna be, if you you know what I notice, that people who are truly standing high, they never put anybody down. They never hurt somebody who did not achieve as much. When they see those other people making tiny steps, they would always uplift them and say, you know what, I have 1 million subscribers now, but it was a day when I had only 3, and I think you're doing amazing. A lot of people don't want to try anything because they compare themselves with people who are already successful. But no matter what you do, you know, when you pour your heart out, there's gonna be somebody who will appreciate it. So we all need to learn to ignore the trolls, and I do for the most part, but sometimes you just have to address certain things, and it's really painful to be accused sometimes in the things that you don't do. yeah, it is really, really painful to be accused, you know. It's like when you are hurt by women and then you write under every woman, oh yeah, yeah, you're the proof, you know. Somebody wrote, yes, they said, yeah, 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 you are the reason, you know, Veronica, while we go in MGTOW, yeah, women like you are, oi, it's horrible, like, it's just awful. I'm like, okay, you don't really know me, but okay. And you know, and this is the problem with feminism and MGTOW and all these other movements, is that you're gonna just living in the turmoil, in that negativity. If a good person gives you a hug or a smile or something unexpected, you're gonna be suspecting, oh, you know what, they want something from me. Nobody does anything for anybody just because of goodwill, you know. You will not recognize, you know, true love or true friendship if it would slap you in the face, because you're so suspicious of everybody, of everything, and everything is a conspiracy. So pick your poison. Wait, I think I'm about on the bottom. This is my favorite drink. It's a coconut water with lime, with no sugar and some electrolytes. We definitely need here right now. And it's called Shine. Shine bright, shine bright. So that's what we're doing here. Sounds like I'm on the bottom of it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Devi. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you. Make them haters cry. You know, I sometimes also receive you know, messages from people saying like, don't you feel you know, must be nice to get, you know, crowdfunding or support. And you know, I'm thinking to myself, you know, you know, there is nothing on your way to put your face on the camera and share something valuable, provide service or product, and do the same. What's on your way? Why do you have to hate? Seriously, if you're so much better than me, you should or you know, if you're so much better than everybody else in this world, you know, your content should truly be invaluable. Thank you, Stephen. You're too kind. Thank you. Yes. Stephen is saying, Veronica, as always, you're creating more topics for discussion. Thank you. And guys, thank you for your support so much. And don't get engaged with those trolls, because that's what they want. They want to come and spill the poison. If you're dreaming to have your family and you're working on your family project, they want to discourage you. They want to tell you, oh, she is gonna you know, tear you apart. She's gonna take all of your money and all this and that. And this is their goal. You know, misery loves company. If they're miserable and lonely, because if they wouldn't be lonely, they wouldn't be searching for the video to put poison on. They would be off with their life, or they would be doing something valuable for society. They just want to, they won't put that seed of doubt in you, that you don't dare to do something that they couldn't do. Because if you do, if you would be successful at something that they could not achieve, you will prove that they are the losers and they do not want to look bad. And if you dare and if you succeed with what you want to be doing, that will automatically make them look bad. So for them, instead of trying to overcome some of their issues, keeping you down or put a seed of doubt in you so you may not go for what you want is a good deal. This way they don't need to put any effort to step up their game and do better. Once again, people who have fulfilled lives, people who have high levels of satisfaction in their life, they do not do that. Can you imagine Jeff Bezos you know, going around YouTube and like, uh yeah. By the way, he's a great example. He had to give half of his uh, financial abundance when he get married or when he get divorced. Did he complain? Nope. He already made the soul back. Productive men do not live in fear. They make everything back. And they do not go around and throw dirt on women that they live for decades with. Because when you throw dirt on somebody you have been with forever, you throw dirt on yourself, on your choices, on you as a person. You just destroy your dignity and your pride when you go and badmouthing somebody you spend significant times of your life with. I have not seen a video of Jeff Bezos complaining about how unfair life is. He just learned one skill, how to be successful and productive, and I think less than a year he made his money back and probably already twice his money back. So some people prefer live in fear. They can live in fear and they can go their own way. It's a free country. I mean, supposedly a free country, at least in the personal choice. You know, we all have our personal choice. But coming back to Ukraine, I don't think that Ukraine will become feminist in a Western understanding of that world anytime soon. I truly hope, um, I truly hope though that Ukrainian society will also raise their standards and will let girls to be to develop in the ways they want to develop, not to have to be scared for their safety, and being able to work if they qualified for that work and not denied because of their age, because of their desire to become a mother or any other basic human right. So once again, feminist movement in Ukraine is a movement for basic rights, and we do not have to worry about that to be a threat for feminine traditional women. They are more than ever are looking for commitment and traditional quality men. One thing that you guys could do, as most of my listeners are, you know, Western men or foreign men, one thing that you can do when you travel to Ukraine is to show your respect, to show your, you know, adoration, your support, and, you know, rather than add to the whole sex tourism trend, you can show something different. You can show respect, adoration, appreciation, and support. And I think Ukraine will stay a traditional society for much longer, for many more years. At least I hope so. So with that being said, my dear friends, I will see you very soon. Thank you so very much for supporting the show. And I'm looking forward for another live discussions with you. Thank you.